Why Elon Musk built a school for his kids. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up because today's YouTube video is just amazing. No regular school for my kids. Elon Musk, the founder of Tesla and SpaceX, reportedly stated out about transferring his children out of a distinguished school in Los Angeles and enrolling them in Ad Astra, a learning environment he developed in 2014. Musk has 6 children, 5 sons from his first marriage to Justin Wilson and a newborn son from his current relationship with musician Grimes. Ad Astra, which was located in one of SpaceX rocket factories, educated children for SpaceX employees as well as Musk. The creative curriculum, which drew on Musk's hobbies, included no language, music, or sports courses, but pupils would work on complex projects like making warring robots, discussing nuclear politics, and plotting how to destroy evil AIs, according to the Daily Beast. While Musk is no longer active in school beyond his original investment, Ad Astra has grown into Astra Nova and is now open to the public for enrollment of their own children, given that the mom and dad can afford the tuitions and a junior can pass the critical thinking entrance exam. So, where did this all begin? In an interview, a reporter questioned Musk, "So you want to keep your kids away from normal schools?" Musk's mentality is that if he doesn't like something, he develops his own versions of it, from vehicles, rockets, highways, and energy firms. "I just didn't see the usual school performing the things I believe should be done," Musk explained. "Let's see what we can come up with," I reasoned. "Perhaps starting a school would be a better option," Elon Musk asked Josh Dan, a former teacher for Allfellow and his son's teacher at the time, whether they joined him at SpaceX to build a better school. Don was in agreement. The school Ad Astra, which means to the star in Latin, was founded. The Ad Astra School 2 fundamental principles. Musk reinvented schooling around first principle thinking instead of reasoning by analogy, break things down to their core facts, and reason up from there. Instead of accepting rocket costs, Musk pondered, what is a rocket composed of? He made a list of the parts and worked out of the pricing. He discovered the raw materials were about 100 times less expensive. Instead of purchasing rockets, he chose to manufacture his own. Musk devised these 2 educational principles. 1. Sort youngsters into groups based on their abilities rather than their ages. Children are grouped by age in traditional schools, assuming that this is the most essential denominator. Students of the same age are expected to learn at the same pace in traditional school systems. Kids have varied abilities at different times, Musk said. Disagreeing with age segregations is more logical to tailor their educations to their aptitude and abilities. 2. Do not instruct the tool, teach the issue. Have you ever questioned a teacher why they teach you something? The majority of responses stop at, well, you need this someday. Learning becomes irrelevant if the significance is unclear. Learning to use tools is meaningless and tedious unless they assist you in solving a real-world problem. It is not the same as trying to disassemble an engine yourself. As you work, you will become more aware of the tool's utility. Musk at Astra School is being scaled by an edtech company. Chrisman Frank, Don's old colleague at Class Dojo, came to Ad Astra a few years later. He was enamored with one particular aspect of the school: synthesis. In 2020, Frank persuaded Don to turn Synthesis into a for-profit corporation. Frank's goal was to scale their learning software and train a new generation of super geniuses. This is how it works. Synthesis is a team-based, simulations-based learning experience. Case studies, simulations, and game-based challenges are used to help students learn. Kids teach themselves how to win while playing. They gain new problem-solving skills in the process. Here are 2 examples. Art is for everyone. Students compete for the best art exhibits in an auctions game. The simulations covers negotiation as well as mental models such as winner's curse and auction theory. Fire. Students fight forest fires in this cooperative game with varying conditions. It discusses mental models like positive sum and zero-sum games. Christmas Frank, Synthesis CEO, and Anna Fabriga, Chief Evangelist, discussed the most innovative learning experience in a recent podcast episode. Software and games are being used to replace lectures and books. In most school, lectures are still most common teaching modality. They don't, however, allow debate, discussions, or disagreement. Schools teach pupils to be passive listeners rather than being active thinkers. Reality is more complicated than black and white. In most schools are taught to follow rules rather than think for themselves. Synthesis creates simulations for the experience, not for the content. Simulations are difficult to understand and there are no right or wrong solutions. 18-20 children are divided into groups, each with a facilitator. Facilitators, on the other hand, do not lecture. On their own, the student groups investigate and learn game rules. The simulations are designed to alter how children approach real-world challenges and equip them to deal with complexity and turmoil that comes with life. Students make decisions that have both immediate and long-term repercussions. They must grasp, trade-off, and examine their options in situations where there's no binary answer, and neither does the teacher. Ad Astra meets expectations that are outside of the students' comfort zones. Fleas can jump up to 8 inches, but after 3 days in a closed jar, they will never jump higher than the height of the lid. Their offspring take after their parents and grow to be the same height as them. The low expectations of a school systems are similar to flea training. Low expectations for children are a barrier to their success and one of the most common reasons for them to fail. Synthesis promises to have high expectations built in, forcing youngsters to move beyond their comfort zones. When things don't function at Synthesis, there's no one to ask for the correct answer. The kids are aware that the teaching staffs has their back when it comes to resolving these problems. Children, according to Fabricia, crave intricacy. She recounts how, after a while, kids become accustomed to the unpredictability. Synthesis can teach children to enjoy being uncomfortable, using the Super Mario effect to help students learn more effortlessly. As a teacher, I encourage my students to have a growth mentality. I build entire lessons around it, applauding efforts rather than achievements. I demonstrated to my pupils how making mistakes may help us learn. Despite this, the system triumphs over me. When a student receives a poor grade, they become discouraged. I can blame kids for trying to avoid making mistakes because they result in a worse grade. This was a statement by one of the Ad Astra's teacher. But now the question is, how do you construct a learning process in such a way that you aren't obsessed with failure? The effectiveness of the game-based learning has also been proven in other studies. Synthesis put this knowledge to use. They reframe learning and development game-based learning experiences. As a result, fear of failure is no longer a concern. Did Elon Musk insinuate a quiet revolution in education? Elon Musk has done it yet again. He noticed something that wasn't working properly and corrected it. He planted a seed to innovate the education industry after being dissatisfied with his children's outdated schooling. The notion that our educational system was designed for the industrial age and that a paradigm shift is required isn't new. When reality changes, school encourages students to follow instructions. However, systemic transformations takes time. Musk's wealth and clout allowed others to rethink and construct learning settings. Their desire to prioritize students' learning experiences is admirable. Ad Astra has just been renamed Astra Nova. Their attitude is admirable, a focus on student, a respect for individual capacities, a celebration for curiosity, and a focus on problem solving and critical thinking. Astra Nova is committed to provide meaningful student experiences across all age groups and domains. I completely agree, there is no reason why any child shouldn't like learning. Elon Musk claimed that the internet provided the majority of his children's schooling. During a live interview on the audio app Clubhouse on Saturday night, the Tesla and SpaceX CEO, who is the father of 6 children, 5 of whom who are school age, was talking about education. After a brief pause, Musk stated that the internet has played a significant role in his children's educations. His children, as well as those of SpaceX employees, are educated at the school, which he co-founded in 2014. According to paperwork filed with the IRS that Ars Technica revealed in 2018, Ad Astra has no grades and an intense staff to student radio. As of 2018, the school had roughly 40 students. Artificial intelligence, coding, and applied science are heavily represented in Ad Astra curriculum. Sports and music aren't included, and foreign language aren't taught because Musk believed that the real-time translation software would soon render the subject obsolete, according to the school's head. This brings us to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the next 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you will love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.